it is applied on the area where there is spasm. For example, I'm just showing on my shoulder, but it can be done for the back, shoulder, ankle, like that. People ask after this treatment, yeah, you did something really which worked, and after that in this winter I did not suffer with the frozen shoulder. In Ayurveda, we consider any kind of injury is basically a factor which is aggravating vata, like abrupt change, because okay, I have something when I'm like holding something or doing some gym or cycling or something, and that vata aggravation, like abrupt aggravation of vata, is causing trouble in the body, and this has to be treated. So what is the treatment for the vata aggravation in the sports injuries?
So basically today's topic is about sports injury, because that's a segment which I'm also very curious about. I like to do a lot of sports whenever there is a possibility, and I know a lot of friends and family who has done some sports in the past, and they had injuries and they went through different procedures. This is more for awareness that there are solutions for sports injuries in Ayurveda. But it's
more of a guided thing.
Yeah, it's a more of a guidance or awareness, but for specific thing you should definitely consult your own Ayurvedic doctor or doctor. And if you want to have a quick consultation, you can also check with Vaidya Archana. I will drop her contact in the description and also in the comments, so you can do that as well. So hello everyone, this is your host Pranav, and we have Vaidya Archana Munot with us, and welcome. How are you?
Thank you. It's always pleasure to be here.
Same here. It's always nice to have you on the show. So basically today's topic is about sports injury, because that's a segment which I'm also very curious about. I like to do a lot of sports whenever there is a possibility, and I know a lot of friends and family who has done some sports in the past, and they had injuries and they went through different procedures. And myself, I had a twisted ankle once, but as I was young back then, and still I think in that age where the recovery is pretty fast, it could be okay. But at times what happens is that the injuries, they get unnoticed, or you just postpone it, and then it becomes a big trouble in your old age often. And that's why, as we are in conversation with Vaidya Archana, it would be interesting to know what Ayurveda has to say about this. Are there any principles or already proven methods that could be used or referenced in general? So let's begin with this thing.
And yes, Ayurveda has solution for sports injuries. In sports injuries, I would say you should not neglect the injury. What he mentioned, of course, few years back when I was young, of course you are young today as well, but the main thing is, people think, okay, I am young today, so I don't need any treatment, this will be cured on its own. And sometimes they continue with this thing, converting it to a permanent deformity instead of treating it on the time. So please be aware and be good with yourself. Be kind enough to take the help of an expert person in whenever needed. The thing is, sports injury is a vast topic, but I would just generalize in short to make it little bit easy topic for everyone to understand. And here I would say, in Ayurveda, we consider any kind of injury is basically a factor which is aggravating vata, like abrupt change, because okay, I have something when I'm like holding something or doing some gym or cycling or something, and that vata aggravation, like abrupt aggravation of vata, is causing trouble in the body, and this has to be treated. So what is the treatment for the vata aggravation in the sports injuries? The first and most important thing can be to treat it with the help of massage. It can be self abhyanga or it can be therapeutic treatment, massage from a experienced therapist, which will be helpful. Of course, both the ways it has its own pros and cons. Of course, self abhyanga will be helpful because it won't be that much expensive, and if you know the oil from the Vaidya, you can do it by yourself. But of course, therapeutic abhyanga has its own way because they know exactly how to treat and how much force to apply, which direction to use, like that things. But the main thing is to use oil for the treatment. Of course, if there is external injury, you have to consider the external injury should be healed, and then you can do the massage. You cannot do on an open wound massage. The second thing is to consider after the Abhyanga Svedana. Svedana is basically hot fomentation. It can be done, the basic Svedana can be just applying hot water bag, or maybe taking steam, or sometimes using something warm, which will be helpful to you take a water bottle, or not only water bottle, but sometimes you put your hand inside the Svedana box, which is like fermentation box. So there can be many things. Of course, there are some herbal medicines, or not medicine, supplements, which are used for the Svedana, but we won't go into that much deeper because it is individualized individual specific. But here I would consider the third treatment after Snehana Svedana, the dhara, as the third thing. Dhara can be you warm the oil should be warmed indirectly, not directly, and after a little bit warm oil is used in a small stream, and this stream will be really focused on the place of injury. It might be ankle, it might be somewhere on the arm, or somewhere on the wrist. It is wherever you have that problem, then it is, of course, it should be done after the guidance of the Vaidya. But I am just giving information how it can be useful in sports injury. So dhara, I remember maybe 10-15 years back when I was an Ayurveda student, I had twisted my ankle in a very bad way. I was playing something and I twisted my ankle like anything. It was swollen like anything. Everybody suggested, of course, I belong to a family where everybody is Western doctors, and they suggested to take some Western medicine, and I was little bit reluctant to take medicine. So I just did dhara for I think 3 days, and you won't believe the swelling was regressed like anything, and I was able to walk with the feet. So it is more like how you look at it, how how a person guides you in Ayurveda. It depends. Ayurveda is a very big science. We are just like small drops in the ocean of Ayurveda.
Surface,
yeah. The fourth solution is Shalishashtik Sved, which is like you take rice and you cook the rice with some medicated thing.
One thing would be interesting to make people understand this better is giving some more examples that basically which kind of injury, for which kind of injury we can apply, for example, Abhyanga massage, or potli, or the flow of oil, the dhara, things like that. And of course, like one thing that we want to mention is that this is more for awareness that there are solutions for sports injuries in Ayurveda, but it's
more of a guided thing.
Yeah, it's a more of a guidance or awareness, but for specific thing you should definitely consult your own Ayurvedic doctor or doctor. And if you want to have a quick consultation, you can also check with Vaidya Archana. I will drop her contact in the description and also in the comments, so you can do that as well. So going back to what we were discussing, maybe it would be nice if you break down with some examples and what can be done. Maybe 3-4 examples would be very easy and nice to
basically.
digest.
I'm biking towards a hill or something and I fall from the bicycle, or sometimes okay, you are lifting weights and you are lifting in a wrong way, which will cause biceps twist, or sometimes spasm in the biceps. That is also
Frozen
one.
shoulder
Yeah,
also.
frozen shoulder like condition. There are many conditions in which you have some injury which is not visible but it is there. Sometimes some people have that thing, okay, even like after healing the injury, sometimes they feel like, okay, I know few patients with fracture of hip or for knee joint or whatever.
Yeah.
They come with a complaint in the specifically winters that they have problem with these joints.
Okay. Okay.
After healing the fracture, why they have the problems? Because it is more like there is still some deficit, which deficit needs to be completed with the help of oil or nutrition or like some or other way. There are many other ways to fulfill it, but it depends on the patient what actually
Yeah.
he or she is going through.
There are some theories about uric acid as well, and
Yeah.
it's very common. You hear this, but it is personally for me very confusing. And what does Ayurveda has to say about it?
Uric acid is a totally different topic. I would consider it as a next topic for our
Okay.
discussion, but
But
it is more like
it is not connected to like remains of the pain in the winter season or like some inconvenience people have.
Okay, there are multiple topics we are taking into consideration. The first topic was just about the stiffness of the muscle joints or like that. For this, these discussion, whatever we discussed,
Right.
like snehana, svedana or dhara, the stream treatment, like that things,
Okay.
or maybe the shali shashti rice. But the thing is, when we consider about the gout or the uric acid levels, the pain will be there, and the solution, like the answer is because of the increased level of uric acid. Then the treatment approach completely changes. For example, Tinospora cordifolia is considered as the best treatment for gout. Basically, another best treatment for gout is use of leeches in treating gout.
Okay.
So it depends. Of course, if you consider Sandhivat, which is mentioned in Ayurveda as a like Vata problem,
Okay.
then there are, okay, it is ama with pain or just because of some other reason. So it really depends on the patient, and it is going into too much of vast topic.
Yeah. No, but if the uric acid is not really connected with the sports injury that you're discussing, we can just drop it.
It can be
Because
considered.
there are
it can-
theories.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I
yeah.
was curious to, like some people complain about their uric acid level going up, and their sports injury, like they both coming together and like making a big mess.
It can be there for
Okay.
a patient with gout, like uric acid levels, and they suffer with some sport injury.
Okay.
But basically, here we are going to consider just simply basic sport
Okay, with
injury
just
without,
examples.
yeah. But, of course, maybe in some next topic we
Sure,
can
sure,
consider
sure.
this,
I
but for today's topic it will be.
Let's keep it brief
yeah.
and simple then.
Yeah. It is more like anything. Even you are playing golf, or maybe sometimes like badminton, people twist their hands or some back problem or something, like something, some wrong action, and that wrong movement, action, whatever it is, that causes problems with the movements. And for that, the solution, for that, it is more like what is disturbed, the vata is disturbed, and vata treatment is like this, step by step, snehana, svedana, dhara, and then sometimes basti is also very useful. But
What is basti maybe?
basti is kind of a oil enema which is helpful to treat the general vata in the body. But it is more like, okay, if it really depends on the patient, what he needs and how it is like related. If it is lower back pain, the basti is very helpful. Sometimes kati basti, like you take the some duff of like the Indian atta, you take this duff and you prepare a small ring in that specific part. For example, if a patient comes with a back pain, then this Duff ring is prepared on the back region, and it is prepared in a way that the oil will not spill out from the ring. And for example, if this is the ring formed, then just consider if it is it is not and it is open on the below also. It is just a ring, not as a glass.
Yeah, I understand.
Then you pour oil inside it, warm oil, not too much warm, but which will be sustainable for the body to handle. This warm oil you keep on the back for maybe like sometimes for 5 minutes, sometimes you keep on rotating the oil to make it little bit warm and make it comfortable for the patient. This oil basti, that keeping the oil, is very helpful.
I think I've seen that in some pictures. Some places which promote Ayurvedic massage, you know, like at least do that. I think it's more like a wall structure made out of dough, flour dough, and then you pour the oil, and I think it's more to concentrate the heat of the oil and its property on the certain part of the body.
Also to decrease the vata, because vata it can be pacified with the help of warmness and oleation. So oleation, that oil is used, and warmness because oil is warm.
Very interesting.
It is nice. The thing which we were considering or discussing was using the Shali Shashtik rice, which I will explain in like a short, and we will end this episode. The thing is, I'm just taking the kids' things, so let's show with that.
Just a representation of how potli would look like, or a small bag of rice.
Yeah, you take a handkerchief, you cook rice with some medications, whatever the Vaidya prescribes, and after cooking the rice, for example, this is the cooked rice. I'm just taking the doll, whatever it is. So I keep this, and I just use the handkerchief like this. And now I have prepared the potali. This is called as potali. Basically, it is a ball of rice which is wrapped in the handkerchief, and this ball of rice is used to give hot fermentation to the patient or to the area where you are having problem in the movement, or there is spasm, there is problem in the restriction in the movements. You now you can take the medicated milk. The medicated milk is prepared with the guidance of the Vaidya, and this medicated milk is made little bit warm, and when the medicated milk is the potali is dipped into the medicated milk and then checked, okay, if it is bearable warm, and then it is applied on the area where there is spasm. For example, I'm just showing on my shoulder, but it can be done for the back, shoulder, ankle, like that places. It is more about wherever there is spasm, restriction of movement, or like that things, or vata problems, then this works very, it is kind of a miracle. People ask after this treatment, you did something really which worked, and after that in this winter I did not suffer with the frozen shoulder. So people remember, sports injury have solution in Ayurveda. You just have to consult the Vaidya and do the guided things.
I think you were also mentioning, because we also recorded this in Hindi, so for the audience who follow Hindi and they are comfortable more with Hindi, there is also a Hindi episode on my other channel which goes with mapsandmetaphors.hindi, and there you were mentioning about the direction. That's why I just recalled, so maybe you can repeat that also for the audience.
It is more like
it should be very specific about which direction you're doing.
The direction which is used is very important. How it should be done, it is done according to the direction of the muscles, but better to do it with the guidance of the Vaidya, because it is not very simple procedure, and it should be in a proper authentic way, guided in the granthas, not just random thing. It is a very good treatment procedure in Ayurveda, and I would say I would like to let everyone know that sports medicine has solution. Like, sports medicine is also a branch in Ayurveda. It is not explored yet by many people.
No, very rightly said. Very interesting, Vaidya Archana. And also, you are based in Europe, specifically Netherlands, but you cover most of the Europe. I think you're open to people from different parts of Europe as well. And I will leave your contact, as I already mentioned in the beginning. And if someone wants to contact you for the first consultations, they can already do it online.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for your time again.
Thank you. It is always nice. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.